Okay, I've been using this coronavirus tracker to do my own list of where we're up to with the vaccinations, and they put it in order of second doses, which puts certain states higher up on the list. But I calculated that the order that each state is going to get towards full vaccination is closer to this order. It's more based on first doses than second doses, although probably the ACT should be above of New South Wales, because they're at 96% first dose and New South Wales are at 89.8% first dose. And then I went through each one and looked at how many days until they reach certain goals, how many days before they get to 80% first dose, 80% second dose. And the conclusion is that if we continue on the trajectory that we're on, the whole of Australia, bar certain pockets of society, will have had their first dose, 90% will have had their first dose by the third week in November, which is 7 weeks away. And what really stands out is who is really lagging behind, and it's not West Australia and Queensland, who are always at the bottom when the ABC do their roadmap. It's Northern Territory. Northern Territory are not going to reach 90% vaccinated until the 17th of January. They are really, really dragging their heels and really, really lagging behind. Basically, the whole of Australia will be at 90% vaccinated, except them. And in about, we'll have reached first dose 70% in 3 days, except Northern Territory. 80% in 3 weeks, except Northern Territory. In 2 weeks, there'll be a noticeable east-west divide when we reach 60% double dosed. So in 2 weeks, the east will be at 60% and the west won't. Or is it? Yep. Well, waiting for Victoria to get into the 60% mark. They're at 56.6 at the moment. Oh yeah, see, it's probably going to take them... No, it's going to take them 5 days, I think, to get to 60%. No, that's 9. Oh yeah, I can't read my own calculations because I've tried to use up a very small space for 16. So I think I've got 16 days for them to get to 70% doubly vaccinated for Victoria. And Tasmania 11 days to get to 70%. So in a month, I've got Australia as a whole will be at 70% double vaccinated. And 7 weeks to be at 90% first dose, because I think that first dose is more important. Once we're at 90% first dose, then the likelihood of the cases resulting in hospitalizations and overwhelming the hospital system are less there'll be a break. Because some people will need a second dose to be properly protected. AstraZeneca only gives you a 30% protection against hospitalisation. So anyone who has first dose AstraZeneca is not going to be as protected as someone who had the mRNA or mRNA vaccine. So I got a bit confused about the calculations I made, but I've got down here that will be at 60% second dose as a nation in 2 weeks. What happened then? And will be at 70% in a month. And will be at 80%. No, that doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, I don't know. I have to come back to this because I've lost track of it, lost track of my calculations. But the main thing is, the more important vaccination thing is in 7 weeks we'll be at 90% first dose for everyone except Northern Territory. And I guess each state will have pockets where they have poor take-up. And that seems to be the people who should have it the most. Aborigines and disabled and the essential workers. And I think that essential workers, the ones who during lockdown are still allowed to go out, they should have mandatory vaccination, I think. So I've got there'll be an east-west divide on 70% doubly vaccinated, I think, in 2 weeks. And then in a month we'll all be at 70% doubly dosed. So a month from now we'll be at 70% double dose, and that should be a relief. So we just need to hold off for 1 month, and then I think outcomes of any outbreaks after that will be slightly less severe. But yeah, definitely 7 weeks from now, if we can hold off for 7 weeks, then it really will be a lot better. And then it'll just be those pockets of the community where they're just going to have to try and persuade people to get over their conspiracy theories and reluctance and I think there's a lot of above 60-year-olds that didn't have the second shot of the AstraZeneca. So I'm wondering if this Moderna one, when the boosters come in, they might waive that second dose and say, look, you've left it too long for your second dose of AstraZeneca, so now we'll let you have the booster shot of Moderna, and then they'll at least be covered. So that'll be. So it's all going to get very interesting, though. In about 3 weeks from now, the picture is going to look a lot more different.